I am 90 years old, and before these tired lungs take their final breath, I am going to tell you something about the most sacred lie you have ever been sold. Your mother's love was never free. You are still paying for it, right now, this very moment, in ways you cannot even see yet. People do not want to hear this. When I say these words at the park, on my slow walks past the young families, I see their faces change. The mothers clutch their children tighter. The fathers look away. But I am 90 years old, my friend. I have buried a wife, 2 brothers, and more illusions than I can count. I do not have time left for comfortable lies. Let me tell you what happened 3 weeks ago. My daughter, Patricia, she is 62 now. Can you imagine that? She sat in my kitchen, right there at the table where her mother used to fold laundry on Sunday mornings. The afternoon light was coming through the window the same way it did 40 years ago. And Patricia, my Patricia with her gray hair and tired eyes, she said to me, "Dad, I cannot make Mom happy. I have tried for 62 years and I still cannot do it." Her mother has been dead for 11 years, 11 years in the ground, and my daughter is still trying to pay a debt that was placed on her shoulders the day she was born. I looked at Patricia's hands. They were shaking just like mine shake now. And I told her the one thing that I wish someone had told me when I was 30, 40, 50 years old. I told her. But before I tell you what I said, I need you to understand something. You can click away right now. You can go back to your scrolling, your distractions, your carefully constructed belief that the guilt you carry is normal. But if you do, I promise you will lie awake tonight, maybe not tonight, maybe 10 years from now, and you will wonder why you feel so exhausted by love. Why the people who are supposed to make you feel whole are the ones who drain you until you are empty. If you are still here, young one, if something in these words is echoing in that quiet place inside your chest, tap that like button. Not for me, I am 90, I will never see the number. But do it so you can mark this moment. The moment you stopped running from a truth you have always known. When I was 28 years old, I lived in a small apartment in Cleveland with my new wife, Dorothy. It was November. I remember because the cold came early that year, and we could not afford to run the heat during the day. Dorothy wore 2 sweaters around the apartment, and I could see her breath when she talked. My mother, her name was Helen, she would call every Sunday morning. 7 o'clock like clockwork. The phone would ring and Dorothy would look at me with this expression. Not quite fear, not quite resentment. Something in between. Helen would ask about my job at the factory. She would ask about Dorothy's cooking. Then, every single time, she would say, "You know, your brother Robert, he calls me 3 times a week. But I suppose you are too busy for your mother." I was not too busy. I worked 10-hour shifts and came home to a cold apartment where we ate beans and cornbread 4 nights a week. But I was, according to Helen, too busy for the woman who gave me life. So I started calling Tuesday mornings before work, then Thursday evenings. Then I would drive the 40 minutes to her house every Saturday to fix things that were not broken. A loose cabinet hinge she could have tightened herself. A flickering light bulb that just needed to be screwed in tighter. Dorothy never said anything, but I would catch her staring out the window on Saturday mornings, watching me leave. Again, one Saturday. It was a clear day. I remember the sky was that bright winter blue. I was at Helen's house replacing a washer in her kitchen sink. A 5-minute job. But Helen, she kept me there for 4 hours, talking about her loneliness, her fears, how much she sacrificed raising me and my brother after our father died. She said, "I gave up everything for you boys. My youth, my dreams, my body. Do you know what childbirth did to me? Do you know what it cost me?" I said, "I know, Ma. I know." And she looked at me with these wet eyes and said, "Then why does it feel like you are abandoning me?" I drove home that night, and Dorothy was sitting in the dark. She had made dinner. God knows how she stretched our money to make a pot roast, and it had gone cold. She looked up at me and said, "Will it ever be enough, Thomas, what you give her?" I told her yes. I told her I just needed to get my mother through this rough patch, and then things would be normal. It took me 37 years to realize there was no rough patch. There was only an emptiness in my mother that I could never fill, no matter how much of myself I poured into it. Here is what nobody tells you, my dear friend. Here is the truth that will make you angry, then sad, then, if you are lucky, free. When your mother tells you that she sacrificed everything for you, she is not lying. But she is also not telling you the whole truth. The whole truth is this: she made choices. Some forced by circumstance, yes. Some forced by a world that gave women few options. But some of those sacrifices, she chose them, and then she handed you the bill. When your mother holds her pain over you like an umbrella that never quite covers your head, she is teaching you that love is currency. That affection must be earned through guilt. That your worth is measured by how much of yourself you surrender. They will clip your wings and call it keeping you safe. They will drain your spirit and call it needing you. They will make you feel selfish for having boundaries and holy for having none. This is the great trap, and you are standing in it right now. When you are lying in bed at 70, 80, 90 years old like me, staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning because your knees ache and sleep will not come, you will replay your life like a film reel. And you will see all the moments you said yes when your soul was screaming no. All the times you betrayed your own peace to keep someone else comfortable. You will see your children, if you have them, and you will recognize the same exhaustion in their eyes that you carried in yours. Because pain, young one, pain is inherited. We pass it down like silverware and photo albums. We teach our children that love is supposed to hurt. If these words are cutting close to something you have been afraid to look at, leave a comment below. Just one word, recognized, or felt this. Let me know I am not just speaking into the void. Let me know these truths still matter, Ashish. The breaking point came when I was 51 years old. Dorothy and I were sitting in a hospital room, not for her, not for me, for my mother, Helen, who had called me at work sobbing, saying she could not breathe, could not move, was dying. I left work, drove through rush hour traffic, my heart pounding, preparing myself to say goodbye to the woman who gave me life. When I got to the hospital, she was sitting up in bed, eating orange slices, flirting with the young doctor who had examined her. "False alarm," she said, smiling. "But I am so glad you came. I have been so lonely." The doctor pulled me aside. He said, "Your mother is fine, physically. But these panic attacks, they will keep happening unless she addresses what is actually wrong." "What is actually wrong?" I asked. He looked at me like he was trying to solve a puzzle. "She is terrified of being alone. But that is not a medical problem, sir. That is a life problem." I sat in the hospital cafeteria for an hour after that. Dorothy sat across from me, drinking terrible coffee from a paper cup. The fluorescent lights buzzed above us. Somewhere a child was crying. Dorothy reached across the table and took my hand. Her skin was warm. "Real," she said. "Thomas, answer me honestly. In all these years of trying to make your mother happy, trying to fill whatever hole is inside her, have you ever succeeded?" Even once. I could not answer her, because the answer was no. Every visit, every phone call, every drop plan and broken promise I made to Dorothy and our children to tend to Helen's endless emotional fires, none of it ever moved the needle. My mother's satisfaction lasted exactly as long as I was in the room. The moment I left, the debt reset to zero. Was I angry because my mother was manipulative? Or was I angry because I had spent 30 years believing I could heal a wound I did not create? That night, I stood at our bedroom window looking out at the street. It was raining. The street lights made orange pools on the wet asphalt, and I realized something that broke me and rebuilt me at the same time. My mother loved me, in her way. With her broken tools and inherited pain, she loved me. But her love came with chains, and I had been calling those chains devotion. If you want to navigate this life without waking up one day and realizing you have been living for ghosts and expectations, there are brutal truths you must carve into your heart. First truth: a mother's love is not inherently pure simply because she is a mother. Listen to me. Love is not validated by biology. It is validated by behavior. Your mother is a human being, flawed, wounded, carrying her own unhealed traumas. She is capable of selfishness. She is capable of manipulation. She is capable of loving you and hurting you in the same breath. When she says, "After all I have done for you," she is not reminding you of love. She is cashing in a chip you never agreed to hold. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote about his own mother with gratitude, yes, but also with clear eyes. He did not confuse honor with servitude. He did not mistake duty for self-destruction. Every time you feel guilty for choosing your peace over her comfort, you are worshiping at the altar of a false god, the God of perfect children, the God of endless debt. Second truth: you cannot heal your mother's pain. You never could. Do you understand what I am saying? Her loneliness, her bitterness, her disappointment with life, these are not problems you can solve. You are her child, not her therapist, not her savior, not her reason for living. She may have told you that you are her whole world. That sounds like love. But let me tell you what it actually is. It is a weight no human being should carry. When you were born, you did not sign a contract promising to be her emotional support, her entertainment, her proof that her suffering meant something. You did not volunteer for this. It was placed on you. Here is a metaphor for you. Your mother's pain is like a river. It has been flowing since before you were born, fed by her mother's pain and her mother's before that. You did not create this river. You cannot dam it. You cannot redirect it. All you can do is stop standing in it and calling it a baptism. Third truth. The guilt you feel is not your conscience. It is your conditioning gauze. This is the hardest one, young one, because that voice in your head that says, "You are a bad son. You are a bad daughter. How dare you pull away from the woman who gave birth to you?" That voice sounds like morality. It sounds like truth, but it is not. It is programming. From the moment you were old enough to understand language, you were taught that your needs come second, that speaking up is disrespectful, that boundaries are betrayal, that if you are not suffering, you are not loving. Do they understand your unique mind? Do they understand the specific pain you carry, the dreams you buried to keep them comfortable? Or do they just need you to stay small enough to make them feel big? Fourth truth. Protecting yourself is not the same as abandoning them. When I finally set boundaries with Helen, she told everyone I had abandoned her. My brother Robert called me selfish. Neighbors at church looked at me differently. And for a while, I believed them. But here is what actually happened. I stopped answering every phone call immediately. I visited twice a month instead of every week. I said no when she asked me to cancel plans with Dorothy to fix non-emergencies. I did not abandon her. I stopped abandoning myself. There is a difference between honoring your mother and being devoured by her. If you have made it this far, if you are really hearing me, subscribe to this channel. I know. What does a 90-year-old man care about subscriptions? But here is the truth. In this world of noise and performance, and people screaming for your attention, you need a quiet place to remember what is real. Subscribe because you need to be reminded that your life belongs to you. Fifth truth, and this is the one that will set you free if you let it. You can love someone and still choose yourself. Sex. These are not opposites. Love and boundaries, compassion and self-preservation, honoring your mother and building a life that is yours. The ancient Stoics had a concept, eikesis, the idea that we have natural affection for those closest to us, but that affection must be guided by wisdom and virtue, not blind obligation. Epictetus himself said that we must examine our duties carefully to ensure we are not destroying ourselves in the name of devotion. You can visit your mother and leave when you are tired. You can listen to her pain without making it your responsibility to fix. You can say, "I love you, but I cannot do that," and the sky will not fall. Your mother may cry, she may rage. She may tell you that you have broken her heart, and you must understand her feelings are real, but they are not your fault. She is responsible for her own emotional world, just as you are responsible for yours. Here is what I built slowly, painfully, over the last decades of my life. I call it the inner citadel. The Stoics used this term, a fortress inside yourself that no one can breach without permission. Every time you honor a boundary you set, you add a stone to that citadel. Every time you say no to guilt and yes to peace, you build the walls higher. Every time you choose truth over comfort, you strengthen the gates. This citadel is not about shutting people out. It is about creating a space inside yourself where your worth is not negotiable, where your peace is sacred, where love is given freely, not extracted through manipulation. When the storms come, and they will come, young one, when your mother weeps, and your siblings accuse, and your own guilt whispers that you are a monster, you must have this citadel to retreat to. You must trust your own soul above all else. Because here is what will happen: your mother will survive your boundaries. She will find other sources of validation, or she will not. But either way, it is not your job to be her entire emotional ecosystem. Your siblings will judge you until they burn out and realize you were right, and you will finally breathe. Look at me. Look at these gnarled hands, these liver spots, these eyes that have seen 9 decades of sunrise and sorrow. I am at the end of the road. The final chapter is not just approaching, it is here. I can feel it in my bones, in the way my heart stumbles, sometimes like it is forgetting the rhythm. When I think about my grave, and I do think about it, more than I probably should, I do not worry about how many people will come to the funeral. I do not worry about whether I gave enough. I worry only about this: did I live true? Did I stop betraying myself? Did I finally understand that love without freedom is just another word for prison? Now, let me be clear about something. When I say your mother's love was never free, I am not telling you to hate her. I am not telling you to cut her out of your life completely and never speak to her again. It is the exact opposite. When you stop trying to be her savior, you can finally be her son, her daughter. When you stop carrying her emotional world on your shoulders, you can actually sit with her and have a real conversation. When you release the guilt, you make room for something that looks a lot more like actual love. I love my mother. I forgave her decades ago. Though she never asked for forgiveness because she never believed she did anything wrong. Helen was just a scared woman who lost her husband young and learned that children could be made to stay through obligation when nothing else worked. She was broken, trying to survive, using the only tools she had. But I never again let her break me. And that, my friend, is where peace lives, in the space between compassion for her and protection of yourself. I think about Dorothy often. She died 11 years ago, and not a day passes that I do not miss her. Toward the end, when the cancer had taken almost everything, she held my hand in that same hospital where we sat decades before. And she said, "Thomas, you became yourself. Finally, I am so proud of you." I had spent so many years trying to be a good son that I forgot to be a good husband, a good father, a good man. But in those final years, when I finally set myself free from the chains I thought were love, Dorothy and I had the kind of peace that people write poetry about. Quiet mornings, honest conversations, love that did not demand, did not drain, did not destroy. Yes, if you have someone in your life right now, a partner, a child, a friend, who is paying the price for your mother's unpaid debts, share this video with them. Not as an accusation, but as a bridge. As a way of saying, I see it now. I am ready to change. 6. You have one life, one short, fragile, precious life. It is not a rehearsal. It is not a rough draft. This is it. And you are spending it trying to fill a cup with no bottom, trying to earn love that was supposed to be given freely, trying to pay off a debt that was never actually yours. Stop. Just stop. Your mother will be okay, or she will not be, but her okayness is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is this: to live with integrity, to build a life that reflects your values, not her expectations, to love people without losing yourself in them, to be free. If these words resonated with the quiet part of your soul, the part you have been trying to ignore because it is too painful to face, I want you to do something for me. Not because I care about numbers. I am 90 years old, my friend. I will be dust soon enough, and so will these metrics. But because in this noisy world, you need a quiet place to be reminded of what is real. You need a voice that is not trying to sell you something, just trying to tell you the truth before time runs out. Subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell. Not for me, for you. For the version of yourself that is tired of carrying other people's pain. And leave a comment. Tell me your story. Or do not. Just say, I hear you. Let me know that these words landed somewhere soft. Aser. And if you found the courage in this video to finally choose yourself, hit that share button. Send this to someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do is give someone permission to let go. I am 90 years old. My hands shake when I hold a coffee cup. My knees ache when the weather changes. I do not sleep much anymore. Old men do not need much sleep, or maybe we are just practicing for the long sleep ahead. But I am at peace, because I finally learned that loving someone does not mean dying for them while you are still alive. Take care of your mind, young one. Protect your peace. Build your citadel. And remember, the people who love you without chains will never ask you to wear them. Time is shorter than you think. Now go. Go and reclaim your life.